So what is going on out there, peeps? So since the video I did this morning, there have been a couple of new developments going on in Iraq. Of course, as always, it's a lot of good news. I don't have to express how impressed I am by what's happening with Al-Qadimi over there. It's looking really good. So just a quick reminder, you guys, I do have a Facebook group with the same name as my YouTube channel. I will leave a link in the description. You're free to come join us. We talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. All right, free to do so. And for you people who like the current events and more of conspiracy side of things, we have the hidden things in front of your eyes. I will leave a link to this group. You could come join us over there. We tend to go back and forth a lot on a lot of different subjects, including, you know, conspiracy items such as 9/11 and false flag shootings and all that kind of stuff. But let's get into what's happening in Iraq. Okay, so al-Sadr calls on America to withdraw its forces from Iraq and change its tactical approach. Now, when al-Qadimi was going up, and I thought this guy was going to be a pain in the side, he was going to be the one to cause the most resistance. He is definitely an Iranian puppet. We all know this. And for some reason, he decided to behave himself. But now, all of a sudden, he is decided not to behave himself no more. Okay, so, but again, I'm gonna go back. Let me reword that. I kind of understand what he's saying. So let's get into it first of all. So the leader of the Sadrist movement, Sadr himself, called on the United States to withdraw all its forces from Iraq and other countries and change its predatory approach. Sadr said in a statement Monday published on Twitter that the United States has dealt with everyone with condescension and arrogance, accusing Washington of being and still trying to acquiesce to all terrorist mechanisms and methods such as wars, killing, intimidation, the agent of the charges. And it does not care to impose its control on the world. It only increases its homogeneity. Okay, so very interesting. It's control, in other words. He added, I think it's necessary and even necessary for America to change its hostile and arrogant approach with its people first. In other words, what's going on in current events is what he's talking about. And with all the people of the world, secondly, and to withdraw its occupied forces from all the countries, especially Iraq, in a way that preserves the prestige and dignity of the people. So here's the thing. This is what this happens all the time. It's the same thing with Iran. It's the same thing with Iraq. We have already made plans to withdraw, and we're withdrawing as we speak. And then they make it look like they're making this bold statement, like something that they said caused the movement to happen. No, it didn't. This plan was already in effect. Not only are we moving out of Iraq, but we decided to move out of Germany. What the, you know what I mean? Trump said, yeah, by the way, we're moving out of Germany. Merkel's like, yeah, Merkel, we don't want to deal with you no more, you traitor. She's a globalist. I would have thought she would have loved that, but nope, not at all. She is not a thrill camper, and the United States is pulling out of there as well. Look, there's no sense in us, and I have my own theory on what Trump's doing. He's making sure that all the troops are back here before election time, and that's because he's anticipating another coup attempt. That's just my opinion. Okay, so let's get into this parliamentary agenda for Wednesday's session. The House of Representatives will vote next Wednesday on the internal and external borrowing law to finance the fiscal deficit for the current year. You guys already know my opinion on this. Do not borrow externally, borrow internally, and raise the rate so that your money has some kind of purchasing power. That's just my opinion. According to the statement of the Department of the Media, the agenda Wednesday session will also include a first reading of the draft's Second Amendment Act of the law and public record. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Also included the reading of the Committee on Agriculture, Water, and Marshes report on the marketing of wheat crops in addition for general discussion. Now, this is big. I love the fact that Al-Qadimi's taking some of the money and focusing on agriculture. That's another big money maker for Iraq. But not only that, it allows them to be self-sustaining more importantly, you know what I mean? But you definitely want to do away with just relying on oil all the time. A U.S. plane crashed in Taj base. So, according to the Iraqi news, the C-130 military plane crashed on the Taj base. So, basically, what happened, it collided into some concrete bricks on the base, and the crews were a little injured, but nobody died, but messed up a C-130. Usually, those are your mail delivery planes, and supplies is what it is. By the numbers. The Prime Minister advisor reveals very important information about deductions of salaries. So, what does this mean? In other words, when they say deductions, they're talking about taxes. All right. The finance advisor of the Prime Minister, Mohammed Saleh, revealed very important information about deductions and salaries. Saleh said what flows from cash resources to the budget is 3 trillion dinars between oil revenues and non-oil revenues, and 7 trillion dinars representing 50% of the real needs and the critical limits of the operational budget. Not all of them, and constitutes 5.7 trillion dinars, with a regional Kurdistan to have 2 trillion dinars, a deficit in salary of about 3 trillion, operating threshold. We know how you can solve this problem. Freaking increase the value of your dinar. It won't be such a big deal. You won't need so many dinars if you increase the value. The nominal salary at the annual level is 14 trillion dinars. The allocations are less than 29 trillion dinars per month for employees. And the income tax law imposed income on normal and not on allocations. And it is supposed to include all income owners. Explained that what happened in 2008 by the decision of the Council of Ministry disrupts the application of income tax on the allowance portions, which is 2/3 of the salary. All right, so we can keep going on and on. Basically, they're talking about how much more money they could generate just by finally implementing taxes. Look at this, man. Deductions of 10 to 15% of their total salary. That's, that's for people who don't have a lot of money. I would imagine that's a pretty big chunk of their money. You're talking about more than 1/10 of that. 1/15 of that is up there. You know what I mean? Just increase the dang exchange rate. Every article we see in the read, there's a resolution, or the resolution is if you just change the dang rate to where it needs to be, you won't have so many problems. I'm still going out online. You guys keep asking me, what do I think the rate's going to be? And I know everybody has their opinion on why that is, but I'm still saying it's going to be somewhere around the $13, $34 mark, just because it's the sweet spot. That's in my opinion. Okay, although I can see the reason, since they have nothing to offer to export out of there at this present moment, I can see where they would reinstate the 322 rate and then buying everything they need to just go ahead and start infrastructure and rebuilding the country, and then turn around and lowering the rate again to around 134, locking it in for 3 years. We will see. Anyways, it goes on to explain where the revenue and non-revenues are, how the money's coming in, where it's coming from, and where it needs to go. I'll leave a link to all the articles so you could go check them out for yourself. The advisor to the Prime Minister, a plan to reform the banking system. The financial advisor to the Prime Minister, Mohammed Saleh, revealed on Monday the plan to reform the country's banking system. Okay, so I read this article in the way they interpreted it, so just bear with me. Saleh said, according to the official agency, there's a problem in the installations of the Iraqi banking system and the division of its market related to the dominance of government banks on 90% of the assets of the banking system, and that their number does not exceed 7 government banks, while private banks estimated at 70 foreign banks and branches does not. Its assets constitute only 10% of the assets in the banking system. He added, there is strong reform plan to turn these banks into effective force and moving the liquidity of the economy and directing it in a way that serves the Iraqi economy and moving investment opportunities. Yes, why don't you borrow internally? Change the rate. That will help strengthen the dinar. It will help rebuild the economy there. And keep it internally, keep it in-house. Come on, homeboys, work with us here. Work launches full-time employee salaries. Well, I hope so. The Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs announced the release of full-time salaries of appointees previously for the month of May last Monday. Okay, good. We're already in June and they're just now paying May. The ministry stated that in a statement. This disabled and special needs authorities launched the full-time appointed salaries for the month of May of 2020 for previous recipients on the evening of the 8th by electronic payment. So when they say they're releasing salaries, they're not releasing salaries. In other words, they're making the payment. So for like entitlement programs, so like our disability programs, Medicare, welfare, cash aid, that's what they're talking about. Not really salaries. I guess, I don't know, technically, are they? Yeah, in other words, they're releasing the money into the public. While the salaries will be released through the Hour Sheet Bank within the next 2 days due to technical procedures related to the bank. So, good. Finally, the needy and the disabled are getting their money. I would imagine they pretty much need that. Okay, so let's go into this. Parliament's session, the House of Representatives, raises its session to next Wednesday. Parliament raises its session to next Wednesday. Parliament Director of Finance Minister to pay the salaries of the employees to be appointed for the year 2019. So are they back paying salaries going all the way back to 2019? Because I would be pissed if they took that long to give me my money. Not only that, as a reward, you should raise the value of my damn dinar just to make it up to me. The House of Representatives ends discussions of the report of the Parliament Crisis Cell regarding the Rona. All right, so let's see here. Abdul Ansari takes the constitutional oath as a substitute for Amari. Okay, so that's the guy that replaced the guy that withdrew or resigned. Parliament announces its disapproval of the resignation of Kabali. Okay, Parliament is addressing the government schedule. You know, here's the thing. I've read on some of these guys, not all of them, but some of them, these guys are the ones that are being accused of corruption. So, yeah, they should resign because they know their butt is in a lot of hot water. So, yeah, resign before you get embarrassed. All right, you guys, so this is the update with Iraq. I know I did a video this morning, and a few more articles magically popped up there, and I just wanted to cover them with you, all right? So things are still looking good. We're still on track. I'm feeling really optimistic about everything that's going on. All right, let me know what you think. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, because it surely does help out the channel. And I appreciate you being aboard. I'll talk to you later. Bye.